So laying down in whatever position you want to be in. If you want to be in constructive rest pose with your legs bent in pyramid shape, or if you want to be in restorative bridge, if you've got a brick or a cushion and you want to have that underneath the buttocks, underneath the sacrum, if your back is feeling a little achy, a little tired, then you could be in that position for right now. Good. Come down first, Janet. Lay down first and then put the brick underneath. So as though you're going to go into bridge, lift your buttocks up, put the brick under. Yeah. Good. And then close the eyes. Relax the face. Drop the shoulders. Heavy legs if you've got them out long. And just breathing long, slow, steady breaths. Notice where you're holding any tension right now. Where you can let go a little more. And just keep with those long, steady breaths. We're just going to do a little bit of attention, focus to two areas of the body, and I don't want you to change your breath in any way. It's just changing where you're directing attention and focus. So just bring your attention, your focus to your chest. Just continue long, slow, steady breaths. But just resting your awareness to the center of your chest. To the heart space. Long, slow, steady breaths, and take your attention, your focus to your belly. Again, don't change the breath, still long breaths, still slow breaths, but resting your attention to the belly. Bring one hand onto the heart or the center of the chest and one hand onto the belly. And still nothing with your breath is changing. You're not directing your breath or the movement of the breath anywhere. It might change naturally though, just the movement of the breath. But again, bring your attention back to your chest, to the hand that's on your chest. Long, steady breaths. Focusing to that heart space. can change your attention, your focus, to the belly, the hand that's on the belly. Still long, slow, steady breaths. So our heart space, compassion, love, openness to the belly, the gut instinct. As you breathe now, again, still there's nothing that changes with your breath, but on the inhale, your attention is to your chest. On the exhale, your attention is to the belly. So again, you're not directing any movement of the breath anywhere, just your attention. You might naturally feel more movement into each place with the breath, because wherever intention is, energy goes. Inhaling, chest attention, chest focus. Exhaling, belly focus. Centering, grounding. Here, right now. Bringing your mind to this place and time. Invite it, even if it resists, to sit and witness what it is to be alive. Let there be no ulterior motive in this moment, but to just simply be. Rest on the waves of breath and choose to experience all of it, the sensations in your body, the thoughts in your mind. Just let those thoughts float through and leave as the mind slowly settles like snow inside a shaken paperweight. This is all there is, here, right here and now. Release your arms down to your side. Give the fingers and the toes a little bit of a wiggle. Move the wrists, move the ankles. If you are laying on a brick or a cushion under the buttocks, take that away. And then have a big stretch. Take the arms back behind you. Lengthen the arms, lengthen the legs. And slowly, very carefully, start to draw your knees into your chest, one a little before the other. And taking a hold of the knees, just rocking from side to side, or stirring the legs round slowly in a circle. And our first movement, our first position that we are going to be in will be butterfly. So slowly roll to your side. No hurrying on coming up into sitting. and setting up for your butterfly. And I want you to make this as super nurturing as you can. So don't have the feet in too close, have them far away, and have piles and piles of cushions and blankets and whatever you've got out in front of you, so that you can have these things right tucked into your belly and give them a hug. Right, so I want as many as possible. I know that I could come forward a lot more without any of this stuff, but right now I want to hug it all. And then rest your head obviously to a place where you're not going to suffocate yourself. So for me, that's turning the head to one side, and if you're choosing that as well, then obviously after a while you'll need to turn your head the other way. So make sure that it feels really comfortable. Again, in your mind, you could do as you did at the start, where you just direct attention to one part of your body. And so we did the inhale to the chest, the exhale to the belly. You could do that again, or direct the inhale to some other place and the exhale to some other place. Yeah, and sometimes we need more cushions, right? Yoga is like coming home to your true self, to reset you, to bring you back to being you. I return to where I never left. Reconnect with that from which I was never separate. Remembering what has always been true. When I stop the struggle, I expand into awareness. When I stop the struggle, I expand into awareness. Remember when your mind wanders off, Bring it back to that one place of attention. As though you're breathing to that place. Now and again, you might need to lift the head from the pillows and just give a big sigh out through the mouth, a letting go of tension, a letting go of steam, kind of whole just release that happens a little bit more when we do that. To come up from there, press your hands down either side of your legs, so maybe by your shins or by your knees, and just press the hands down into the floor as you start to lift up, so it's not all of your back muscles bringing you up from that place. Easing up real slow. And then take your mountains of stuff out of the way. And then make sure that you use your hands to help draw the knees up. Don't let the legs move on their own. It can sometimes be too much for the muscles. And then we take windscreen wiper legs. So take your hands back behind you and have the knees and feet wider than the hips. And lean back into your hands. Breathe in. And as you exhale, drop the knees over to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. If it feels a good movement in your hips, carry on with that. Or do tabletop with your hands back behind you. Just lifting the buttocks up, opening up the front of the body after you've been rounding forwards. It's purely optional, you don't have to. Windscreen wiper legs is always good. It's always the good option. Good, our next position, you have two options with it depending on what your knees are most comfortable with. Not necessarily your hips, but your knees, they're important. So the first one is called shoelace. So in regular yoga classes, it's known as cow face. And that is to be stacking the knees on top of one another. So the right leg over the left. Your knees may not necessarily line up quite like I've got mine there, but then I'm kind of freaky like that. If the underneath knee is not happy, then lengthen the left leg out and be in a half shoelace position. So it's not like when we do a twist and the knee is up. You're letting that knee drop down, and then you'll be coming forwards into that. So you start to feel it into the hips and into the buttocks. If you don't like that position, then you don't have to do it. Instead, you could do deer pose, which is where you rest. Actually, I'll do it the right way around for you, so I'm mirroring you. You'd rest your right foot to the inside of the left leg and the left foot out behind. And then you'd have everything out at a diagonal in front of your right knee to come down over it. So I know which would be the option that I'm going to go for, but it's your practice, not mine. So that's your deer pose. I can't really show you my legs any more than I've got there. I can't sort of stand with that. And the body is turned over the right leg, so you're not leaning to the side with it. It is literally dropped over that right leg. And of course, if you're in shoelace in that variation instead, then as long as the hips and the knees allow, then you could just drop the body forwards. If you've got a pile of bricks or cushions, you could have them out in front. So whatever is the knee-friendly option. I know with shoelace it might not necessarily be a hip-friendly option. You definitely feel it, but we do need that. So actually I'm going to go to my not preferred position and go with the one that's a little bit more sensational. I feel it a little more. Good, exactly, Janet. Yes, that's it. Lining up the belly and the chest onto that right thigh. Good. Good. Those in shoelace, make sure that the underneath knee, the left knee, is comfortable. You can always have your left leg out long and just let their right leg drape over the top. And if you don't like coming forwards in shoelace, you can just sit upright. Focus the inhale to one part of your body, your exhale to another part. It might be that you stick with the heart and the belly, or it might be that you focus more to the upper and lower back, especially as we're coming forwards here. Or it could also be the third eye, so in between the brows. I'll leave it with you. For those that are in shoelace, where it can be start to definitely grow into an intense feeling into the hips, trying to be with that, hold space for that sensation. As long, of course, that there's no pins and needles in the toes, the feet. But if it's just that ache that's building in the hips, and I definitely have that, I'm with you. You might need to increase the breath a little bit to really work on powerful, long exhales. Sometimes for these yin sessions, themes just come to me. So the words this morning, the soul soother, just came to me. I thought, yeah, we definitely need some of that. I'm going to have a look through my book of notes and poems, some of which that I've written, some that are from Dana folds that I mention every week. And this one seemed right for today. I have no explanation why, just it is what it is. It's called Endless Fire. In the heart of your heart, in the soul of your soul, the universe has lit a fire that forevermore will grow. It will never be extinguished, for the seeds of it are pure. And inside this endless fire lies the heart, the soul, and more. And from here, whichever position you are in, start to ease the body up, and again use your hands to press down to lift. Easing up. Move your stuff out of the way. And then start to unravel the legs. Yeah, for those in shoelace, probably now feels like you're never going to walk again, right? So give the legs a shake out. Maybe roll the legs in and out. That goes for whether you're in shoelace or deer. And then we take that to the other side. So if it was deer on the other side, you take that on the inside. So it would look like this, that your left foot is sitting to the inside of your right knee. The right foot can be out to the side, or it can be close into the buttocks. And you line everything up at a diagonal out in front to your left knee. And for those in shoelace, take it the other way around this time. So the right leg underneath, left leg on the top. If the underneath leg, the right leg needs to be out long in front because that equals an unhappy knee, take that. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, sometimes we need to give the body a bit of encouragement, right? And if you're doing shoelace, there is definitely one side that always feels a little bit more bearable than the other. And try to settle into your positions, into your shapes. With an exhale. it's always okay to do a little bit of adjusting and fine-tuning of your position, but trying not to let it go into fidget territory. Let your attention rest to one area of the body, or one area of the body on an inhale and another on the exhale. To use your exhales out through the mouth from time to time to release, to ease into a little bit of a deeper sensation, maybe. start to ease yourself up out of the position, pressing down into your hands to come up. And then move your stuff out of the way and start to ease out the legs from your position really slowly if you're in shoelace. And give the legs a little shake out, a roll of them in and out. So now we're going to go into our wide leg straddle. So taking the legs comfortably wide. If you was just in shoelace, then that kind of feels like a release in itself, just from having the legs closed up to then taking them wide. So not too much difference from when we was in deer though, if you was in that, because you've still got the space between the legs. Okay. So if you need to prop up underneath the buttocks because it helps in your low back, then maybe one or a couple of cushions underneath the buttocks might help. If you have a tendency to feel any discomfort at the back of your knees, then if you have a couple of cushions, put one under each knee just to keep the knee a little bit more soft, a little bit more bent. And if you don't need any of that underneath the body, then again, pile your stuff up out in front. Fold over a pillow like I'm doing. Whatever you have. The more we practice yin, the more stuff we seem to accumulate. And obviously, the more stuff you use, the more props you use, that makes it more of a restorative nature in yoga, and the less props is a little bit more traditional yin, where you just feel a bit more into sensation. So today, rather than traditional yin, I've gone a bit more restorative on you all. So more props, more props. And again, you can kind of hug all of those cushions into you, fold over them. Let the head drop down as long as you have space to breathe. You want to feel a little bit of a sensation to your inner thighs and your hips. Not a huge amount, because that sensation is likely to grow the more time that you are here. So just start out with a little bit. Yoga is like a reset for the body, a coming home to your true self, the way you was born to feel, home is not a place, home is a state of consciousness. Home is my forgiveness. Home is my alchemy. Home is my promise. Home is my empathy. Home is my humanity. Home is my family, who's with me or not, or who just reside in my heart, with their crazy, with their beauty, and all that family brings. And home is the creation I fashion from reality. Home is even the illusion of separation from my highest identity. Home is where I get to be. Home is touching, greeting, recognizing, embracing. Home is exploring, accepting, and liberating. Home is oneness. It's guidance. It's listening. It's stunning. Today, give thanks for this invitation, this investigation, this homecoming. Welcome back to you. To come out of it, use your hands. Press the hands down into the floor to lift up slowly, inhaling as you come up. exhaling at the top, give a little bit of movement into your shoulders, little movements into the neck. And then move your props out of the way. And use your hands to close the legs up, so slide a hand underneath one thigh to help it bend. And then the other. We do windscreen wiper legs again to bring a little bit of movement and fluidity into your hips. So taking the hands back behind you, breathe in, drop the knees to the right, exhale. Inhale center, exhale left. Inhale center, exhale right. Inhale center, exhale left. Keep going with the movement if it feels good, or you've got that tabletop option again. And of course, you're very welcome to do any other movements in between before we come to lay down on the belly, as we'll next be setting up for Sphinx. So options for Sphinx: if you have 2 bricks, you might want to have them underneath the forearms to be a little higher, but that does put a little bit more sensation into your back. For those that have back issues and want less bend in the back, then have a pillow and have it underneath across the hip bones. So it just lessens the arch into your low back. So I shall come down onto that. And then you'll be having your elbows underneath your shoulders and your forearms in number 11. Sorry, you can't really see my arms from wearing black on the floor. Not the most ideal thing there. But my elbows are right underneath the shoulders. So don't have the elbows too far back by your chest. Preferably elbows under shoulders or further forward. You don't have to take the cushion under the hips option if you're used to doing Sphinx and it causes no discomfort in your back. Okay, let's have a little look at where our arms and shoulders are set up. Yeah. Good. I would say, Lisa, perhaps take your arms further forwards a little bit. Yeah, and draw the elbows in towards one another, just a touch. Yeah, it's just going to bring a little bit more safety into your shoulders. Yeah. And if you have a brick nearby, you can put it up onto the high end and rest your forehead onto it if you wanted. So I don't have a brick to hand, but I have my meditation cushion, which is just the right height. You don't have to. You can just let the head drop. Or you can just keep it up neutral. It's always wherever you want to be, however you want to be. Whilst we're in Sphinx, we're going to move through the spine, the energy centers along the spine that we spoke of, we practiced with a couple of weeks ago, the chakras. We don't have to visualize them as anything, we're just going to visualize the color as we go along, moving from the base of the spine up to the crown of the head. So take your awareness down to the very lowest point of your spine. Take your awareness down to the lowest point of your spine. And the color for this area to visualize is red. And whatever you visualize there as red is right. So whatever comes to mind, if anything, it might just be that you see a red circle there. Your attention resting to the base of the spine. Red. Move your attention, your awareness, your focus from the base of the spine. Move it up along the spine to the sacrum. And if you're not sure where the sacrum is, you can think at the top of your buttocks, right into the center. That triangle bone that I speak of in class. Right at the top of the buttocks. The color for this area is orange. So just resting your attention to that place and to that color. Visualizations may come in or not. Anytime that this feels like it's being more than a slight feeling of pressure or a dull ache to your back, it starts to feel as though it's just painful. Just come to lay down on your belly, rest your head onto your hands. Take your awareness further up the spine now, to just below the back ribs, solar plexus area, just a little higher than the back of the waist. Focus your attention there, the color yellow. Your attention up to in between the ribs to where would be the back of the heart. And the color here, green, healing green. Still maintain your focus to the back of the heart. color green. Come down onto your belly if you're not there already. Let the elbows wing out to the side. Rest your forehead onto your hands. Take your awareness to the back of the neck, right in the center of the neck. Color blue. And then bring your hands, palms down beside your chest. We're going to lift into a little cobra and back to child. Move slow. Inhale as you come up. Transfer to the knees. Slowly take the bottom back towards your heels. Knees together or wide. And rest your head down onto your hands or make fists with your hands and stack one fist upon the other. And rest the forehead down onto those fists. And take your awareness right to where the forehead is resting onto the fists. Visualize a violet color there. Lifting the head a little from your hands, press your hands down to lift up, and we're just going to sit onto the heels just briefly. If your knees are really not happy with you sitting, kneeling, take another option. It doesn't have to be this position. And then just take your focus, your awareness to the crown of the head and above. So you could think of it like a fan shape from the crown of the head outwards, like a bright white light coming out the top of your head. After being still in our Sphinx pose and all of our forward bends, I always feel it's nice to lubricate the spine, and we're going to do cat roll. So come to all fours. And so this is just like regular cat where we're arching and rounding the spine, but we move forwards and back with it. So really nice and fluid. So you inhale as you draw the chest forwards, tilt the pelvis up. And as you exhale, you round the back. Whilst you're rounding, you take the bottom back towards your heels. You inhale as you slide forwards, lifting the chest, the pelvis up. And exhale as you tuck and round back. And keep going with that, moving with your breath. You can keep it really slow, the breath and the movement. the body feels like it does want to go a little quicker, then you're welcome, as long as it feels nurturing to your system. The movement as fluid as possible, as though you're hydrating the discs and the muscles in your back. And as you move, you could imagine that you're moving through all of those colors along the spine, like a rainbow when you're arching the back. Moving through those colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, white. You could stay with this cat roll for a few more times, or if you feel you need to give your knees a little bit of length, then you could either stay in all fours and alternate stretching a leg back with the toes tucked on your mat. You could take downward facing dog, again, only if that feels like that's going to be nurturing for your system and a happy place for your knees to give them some stretch out after we've been down. Whatever you need, whatever you want. Good, and then if you're in downward facing dog, coming back down to the knees, you could, however, take the next position from down dog if you wished. It's going to be half pigeon. So some suggestions for making half pigeon perhaps a little less ouchy if you always find this one a little bit intense. And that would be that if you wanted, actually I'll do this side just because that's the side facing you, that if you wanted something underneath the buttock of the bent leg, if you wanted a cushion underneath so that your buttock can really drop down and press down into it, you could take that option. If your knee is not a happy bunny in pigeon, then don't do pigeon. Instead, do a similar thing to our deer pose, but the legs are more at right angles. So in this position right now, my right knee is facing forwards and my right shin is parallel to the front edge of my mat. And my left knee, left thigh, is also parallel to the front edge of my mat. Think of like two legs of the Isle of Man. Okay, so you could be with that. So taking pigeon or that variation, if you're taking pigeon, think right knee to right wrist, right toes point towards the left side of your mat. Slide the left leg back. And coming down. If you need something underneath the right buttock, take that. If you want to stack the fists again and rest the forehead onto the fists or onto a cushion or a brick, whatever you have. It's not about the shape, it's about feeling the sensation to the right thigh, hip, buttock area. So if you're taking your Isle of Man legs, great. Good, so just to help out with that, Lisa, take the front shin, that right shin, to be more parallel in line with the front of your mat. So take the leg a little bit further forward and have the left knee a bit more out to the side on the left. So take the foot back. Yeah, I'm trying to give you, how can I show you this one a little bit better than where I'm at? So yeah, have that front leg. I wonder if I can show you against the wall. I wonder if that would work. Let me see, let me experiment. So my right leg, your front leg, more like that. So say my top of mat is up there. You've got that right knee in line with the hip. Let me get my head down out of the way. The left knee out to the left side. And the foot's going back towards the back end of your mat. I can't really do that shape in this one, that doesn't really work, but I'm hoping that gives you a little bit more of an idea. Yeah, we can go with that and then come forwards over the front leg. So in deer, we were going more over the right leg. This time go straight ahead. Yes. And if that really doesn't work for the knees, you've always got the other option, which is figure 4, laying on your back. Those long exhales are there for you to help ease in that sensation that sometimes eases, sometimes it builds more the longer we hold it. From here, if you're still in Pigeon, start to lift your upper body up. We're actually going to move into another position on this right side. So if you're laying, you'll need to come back into sitting. Drop over onto your right buttock. And then take hold of the left leg from behind you and sweep carefully the left leg around to the front. And then bring your right foot to the inside of the left thigh, or take the right foot down towards the calf. I'm going to turn so that you can see what my right leg is doing. So the knee is bent, the foot is to the inside of the left leg, whether it's thigh or calf. And then you can pile up stuff out in front of you if you want it, or you can put something underneath the buttocks to lift your seat. And then relax forwards. And it might be that the back doesn't want you to come forwards here. You might need to stay more upright. It's okay. You don't have to worry about being in line So if you've done my class yesterday, and we had this yesterday, where we had more of the body over that left leg in line with it, if you want to be a little bit more off to the side so that you can prop up, that's okay. Don't worry about too much alignment, asymmetry or anything here. It's an asymmetric pose anyway. So I've actually got my body slightly turned over the right leg a little bit, just so I can be on my cushion. Is the jaw relaxed? Attention and focus to one or two places of the body, alternating between the two with your breath, or focusing just to one place. We're not just soothing the soul, but soothing the physical body. Where needs your attention, your healing attention? Is it the heart? Is it the low back? When I say the heart, I don't always mean like the physical heart, maybe our emotional heart. Is it the mind for the mental state? From here, use your hands, press down to lift up. Move your props out of the way. Lengthen out the right leg. Give a little rock to the hips, rock from side to side. So you're massaging the buttocks. Then we're going to come into Pigeon, or our Isle of Man legs on the left side. So come back to all fours. So carefully swing the feet around to the side. So you're back to your hands and knees, and you can take Pigeon from all fours, or you can take it from downward facing dog if you want. And Lisa, you can take figure 4 again laying, or I would say try for Pigeon, see how it goes, or try for the Isle of Man legs again. And I've done you a little drawing for if you couldn't get where I was at before. I don't even know if this is going to show up on screen. I'm not sure. So if that was your head facing the top of your mat, your front leg, hip, and knee is going forwards, and then the shin out. The back leg is in that position. Yeah, That's it. That's it. And I'd say wiggle that front knee just a little bit more, or the front foot a bit more. Yes. So glad that my really crude drawing worked. And then you'd come forwards over that front leg. So I'm going to assume the rest of you, if you're in your pigeon, left knees towards left wrist, left foot pointing towards the right side of your mat, right leg long out behind you. It doesn't matter what the pose is. The focus is to feel it into that left buttock, left thigh, left hip area. You can come down resting forehead onto fists or a brick or a cushion. Of course, if it's an unhappy knee place for anyone else, if you need that right angle legs position that I keep nicknaming Isle of Man legs, even though there's a leg missing with it. I know the flag has 3 legs, but if you need that as an option, then just raise a hand and I can help as best as I can through this medium to get you to that place instead. Good. Do you feel that, Lisa, into the left buttock? Jaw relaxed. Use those long exhales. Nose or mouth. And from here, walk the hands back towards you, lifting the body up. And And then drop over carefully onto the left buttock. Some of you might already be to that place if you were with those right angle legs. And then the right hand takes the back leg, the right leg behind you, and carefully sweep the right leg all the way around to the front. And then adjust to bring your left foot to the inside right thigh or calf if the knee wants to have less bend now. And then we're going to come forwards over this right leg. So you might want cushions and props just to the inside of the right leg. You don't have to be directly over the right leg. You can be a little bit more off at a diagonal. And just come forwards as far as feels comfortable. Prop up as much as you need to. So if coming forwards doesn't feel good and you need to be upright, be upright. Remember in your mind to have that focus, place where your attention resides. Maybe just one place, maybe two places that you alternate with the breath. And then to come up from here, use your hands again, press down to lift up. Move your props out of the way. Carefully ease that left leg out in front and just rock from side to side. And then we're going to come to lay down. So whatever you will be needing for your relaxation, maybe a cushion or a brick to go underneath your low back in restorative bridge, if you want that. Making your way down onto your back, we'll still do some little reset movements once you're down there. So once you're down onto your back, take your time getting there, don't worry. Don't rush to get there just because I'm cueing you to be there. But once you're there, you might want to draw the knees into the chest just to settle the back muscles. Maybe moving the legs from side to side or stirring the legs around. You might want to do a final windscreen wiper with the legs, dropping the knees from side to side. They don't have to go down to the floor. It could even just be the smallest of windscreen wiper legs, just rocking the knees in the air. You're very welcome to take any other movement you need, maybe an alternate knee hug, one knee hugging in, one leg long. Or maybe just being in constructive rest pose, with the legs in that pyramid shape, knees knocking inwards, feet apart. Or it might be that you go to relaxation with the legs out long, feet mat width apart. And maybe just going to the position that we started off with one hand on the chest, one hand on the belly, just for a few rounds of breath. The inhale to the chest, the heart. The exhale to the belly. And then you feel you are ready to go to relaxation, and you might already be there. Make sure that you're comfortable. And knowing that if you don't want to get up from the place that you're in, you don't have to. That I can always end the session from my end here. That if you're so comfortable and relaxed that you want it to go on longer than when I strike the bells, know that you can. It's your body, your practice in your own home. And with these words, you can either visualize these in your mind as I read this out, or just let the words wash over you. Your mind might pick out little bits here and there. No need to focus on it. Just let all just be. This is written by a dear friend. And again, it works with those colors through the energy body. A deep red rose is whispering through your eyelashes, calling to nostalgic memories. Travel to a time when life offered you something that made you peaceful, still, and happy. So still, so peaceful, so happy that every part of you could breathe the moment in. A perfect time, suspended. This is your journey. The place you can be with ease. And on this journey, you come to crossroads where there's an orange glow. Take the path that beckons you into yellow rays of blissful warmth. Place the soles of your feet in the soft green land of birdsong. Rest. Let all that weighs you down take flight. Your body is floating in a turquoise sky. Suspended in slow motion of serenity. Your whole beautiful being is bathed in lavender and pure unconditional love. Peaceful and still. So still that every part of you can breathe the moment in. So still that every part of you can breathe the moment in. Keep the eyes closed just for a little bit longer. We come back to the awareness of your breath. Take a long, slow breath in. Let it go. Bring little movements back to your body. If you're laying on a brick, take that away from underneath you. And wiggle your toes, your fingers, your ankles, your wrists. And have a big stretch if you want it. Taking the arms back, stretching long on the inhale. And relaxing on the exhale. Draw your knees into your chest. Maybe one a little before the other. Hug them in. Give the back a little massage. Then roll to your side and come up into sitting. Any position. And then take the arms wide and up. Inhale. Bring the palms together above your head, and as you exhale, bring your hands to prayer pose at the heart. Bowing the head towards the fingertips, acknowledging all that we should be grateful for in our lives, for everything we have, for everyone we know, for everyone we have known. And I truly thank you, as always, for choosing to do your practice of Yin Yoga with me. Namaste.